Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 318, almost forgot, 318 of our Be a Better You Annual Challenge, and day 14 of the No Nonsense November challenge that we're having this month. Well, today we're finishing off the ideas process, so we won't be doubling up on challenge activities or action items for the rest of the month. But today we're going to talk about E in ideas, which stands for educate. This is our process we came up with in January, and we added some fun tweaks this year, I think. The whole education one, I don't think I've had that in any of my personal processes before, where I just automatically, when I learn something, I share it or teach it to someone else. Why? Because when I put that out there, when I say it, when I explain it to somebody else that might not have any idea what I'm talking about initially, it clarifies it in my mind. It makes me a better communicator. It makes me learn and see nuances in the tool, the strategy, the technique, whatever I'm looking at or thinking about, that I might not have seen before. And if I'm lucky enough to be sharing and teaching it to somebody that asks questions, all the more powerful, because that deepens my understanding and my ability to install this particular process into my subconscious. So what are we going to do today? We're going to find one person or post a post about it on social media. That's like the lowest level of possible stress or fear or entries. Just make a post about it on any social media, obviously on Facebook if you're watching me right now. So just put a post on your Facebook page about something that you learned applying let's make it applying the ideas process. Or in No Nonsense November so far, what has been your favorite lesson so far? All right, so that's it. Educate, share something that you've learned, and we'll leave it at that. So today, I don't know what I'm going to share yet. I'm sharing stuff every day, all day. So I don't even know what specific thing I'll share or post about. I'm posting my content, of course, so that'll count as part of it. Okay. Shine always, love this cup. So our Be a Better You challenge topic today is, and our No Nonsense November topic today is celebrate wins. Now, I love to celebrate wins. But I'm not very good at it. I think I admitted that yesterday, that I used to be the person that would achieve, I'd set a goal, I'd achieve a big goal, and before I even saw the dust clearing from the road of all the things that I'd been through for that, I was on to the next thing, always on to the next thing. And I think that helped me through a couple of decades of my life that were challenging, but I think they were challenging because I was making them more complicated and more challenging than they had to be. I knew early on I needed to make different choices in certain areas and aspects of my life, but instead I just hammered through it, tried to make it work, and it didn't work out for me in a lot of different ways. But here I am, so all good, right? Everything that happens to us, even though it doesn't feel like it at the time, happens for a reason. It's either to help us grow or show us something. And if we can look at our life and look at the experiences that we have with that little frame of reference around it, it really helps us to get through some of the most challenging and difficult times and experiences that we ever have. So today, what are we going to celebrate? How do you apply this to supersize? Well, how do you apply this to your life? Let's talk about our life. And in Supersize Your Business, I'll talk about that. In my life, I like to track days that I exercise, right? If I exercise at least an hour a day, then I take out my calendar and I put a little X through it. Why? Because I can look at my calendar and I see all these X's. And so on the days when I kind of am like, I don't feel like doing anything, I don't want to go for a walk, I don't want to go to the park, I don't want to get on my exercise bike, I have that hanging right where I see it. And so I see all these days that I've done it, and then I'm like, okay, it's not that cold out. And I'll talk myself into going and doing the thing that I've committed to myself that I want to do anyway. So you could use a whiteboard or something visual to motivate you that way. Or, like I said, I just use an old calendar, usually a free one I got somewhere, and I just X off the days to keep me moving forward. I used to do that. I don't even know if I did that with my content. I made the commitment to myself in 2018 that I was going to figure out how to do video every day and show up every day. And ever since then, I think I'm perfectly honest about, I missed Christmas Day 2020 because I had COVID. Even though I didn't think it was a thing yet, I was sicker than a dog and could barely get off the couch to even get to the bathroom, much less talk or stop literally hacking up my lungs. It sounded like I was hacking up my lungs, and so it wouldn't have made very good videos anyway. But otherwise, every day, bright and early, I show up. I love it when people join me. It's fun to see that some people are actually up early in the morning and available to participate, but sometimes not. All right, so what are we going to do today? What are we thinking about? What does this mean to us? Why do we want to celebrate these small wins? And I'm in a school community where we do this every day, and I always knew it was powerful, and I sort of do it as part of my gratitude practice every day, but to actually write it down and share it and put it out there in the universe has taken it to a whole new level for me and for everybody else in this particular community. It's not my community, so I'm not going to share it, but I mean, I will be sharing it down the road, but not right now, because we're going to collab on something. But today, think about one win that you've had. And if you haven't celebrated wins for a while, you can go back and you can look at some things. And it doesn't matter how small the win is. If you did something you were afraid of yesterday, that's a win. If you do something today that you've been meaning to do for a really long time, that is a huge win. If you do anything positive to move your life forward, that's a win. Share that in the comments below, because when you put that out there, just like with educating, when you teach somebody how to do something, you are demonstrating to the world that you want more of that. When I put my wins out, it's like, okay, here I am, this worked, now what's next? What else can I win at? And we're attracting more of that into our lives. And I think that's really powerful. Acknowledging progress instead of actual results. And again, this is another one that was always a challenge for me, because I was always in my businesses and in my life very competitive. I come from a competitive family and very results oriented. Numbers, numbers, numbers. I got to be able to see it, see the actual movement of the needle, not just me feeling like it's getting better. I got to see those numbers. And I've gotten better at realizing that when I'm honest with myself, I have learned way more from the process of whatever it is I'm becoming or trying to achieve as a goal than actually the time that I hit that goal. I love to have goals because they keep me motivated, they keep me showing up, they keep me taking action, they make me consistent, they hold me accountable to being true to my word for, what I say I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. But I also love to celebrate those lessons learned, the things that didn't go right, because they were there to show me maybe my point of view was off. Maybe my assumptions were off. Anybody make assumptions besides me? Of course we do. Maybe my belief was off. I'm in a 21-day manifesting challenge right now, and we're focusing on beliefs. And we apply meditation, hypnosis, and other tools to this topic. And I had a zinger come up yesterday. And so I'm going to process that over the next couple of days and just let go of it, right? Because I realize that it has been holding me back, not in one area of my life, but in several areas of my life. And I just had a block of that. We have blinders on about our beliefs because we just think our beliefs are our beliefs. But when we start to look at them closely, we realize, it's not even my belief. That's just something I adopted from somebody else that told me it often enough and badgered me often enough about it that I chose to adopt the same belief as them to reduce arguments. Not very powerful way to select our beliefs. All right, so what are we doing today? Share in the comments below at least one win that you've had. And even if it's just making progress, maybe you made your first live video, maybe you bought a piece of equipment, or maybe you shared a post on a platform that you've never been on before. It doesn't have to be that big. Maybe you just shared a post on a platform that you've been on for 15 years and you never really have used or posted on, about who you are and what's important to you, or something important to you. All right, and then we are going to share one thing that we've learned this week with somebody else. I think that's a good enough, broad enough, easy enough action item, both of those. If you need any help, if you have any questions, just ask. Just ask me and we will get you squared away. And me squared away too, because whenever people ask me something, I've come to find out that it's usually something that I'm dealing with too in my life. And so we end up having a lot of common ground. All right, have an amazing day. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.